Hello everyone, I am Murali Manohar. Today I am presenting you a webinar session on Tally Server 9 and its basic functionalities. Introducing an enterprise class product, Tally Server 9. Introduction to Tally Server 9. Tally brings you an exclusive product, Tally Server 9, a product that installs a server component offering dedicated access to Tally data. In the current environment, we are using the shared data where the data is kept on one server and it is shared through Windows to all the clients to access the data and work on it. In Tally Server 9, we have a server component which serves the data to all clients using a server component. Not only does it smoothly support concurrent usage by multiple individuals simultaneously, but provides an extremely secure and risk-free environment for companies' data. This powerful data server will redefine the efficiency of medium and large businesses that have multiple users performing various activities simultaneously. As we discussed, the Tally Server 9 helps in concurrent usage of data or concurrent access of data by multiple users without compromising on performance. Objective of Tally Server 9 to show value to the enterprise customer by successfully implementing Tally Server 9. Tally Server 9 is introduced to show its value to the enterprise customers where there are multiple users accessing data and there should be concurrent access by the users and it should not affect the performance. What are we doing by introducing Tally Server 9? A look at our current strengths and present market. Where are we today? Tally has delivered some of the world's best technologies for small and medium enterprises. The simplicity, speed, flexibility, and power. So, over the last 26 years, we have created some of the world's best technologies for SMEs. small and medium enterprises. The pride of our technology was always on simplicity, speed, flexibility, and power. Yet, they were all for small and medium enterprises. The sheer flexibility of Tally attracted hundreds and thousands of larger customers. Tally ERP9 Series A has been specifically designed keeping in the mind the functional and operational requirements of SMB in mind, small and medium businesses in mind. Our absolute flexibility has attracted hundreds and thousands of the larger customers. Today, we have more than 50,000 such companies. Now, we'll see what our large customers need. The most important needs of a growing or enterprise customers are the large businesses, power and capacity to operate in a growing multi-user environment, to add as many users without compromising on the performance. The larger customers who are operating with multiple users, say for example 5, they are extremely happy with the speed and performance which is currently offered. But however, when the number of users grow, say 10, it poses following issues which affects the productivity and business performance of the organization at large. Specific problems of such large customers who are unable to take the full benefit of the speed of Tally because of the large number of users or synchronization points. Our multi-user capabilities work beautifully with power requirements of an SME, that is 3, 5, perhaps even 7 or 8. To understand this better, let's take a simple analogy. Like a vehicle designed using an 800cc engine can be a great vehicle equipped with the best features for commuting in a city and will be extremely reliable and efficient for years to come. But if the requirement changes to transport heavy loads across cities, will the vehicle serve the purpose? No. A vehicle needs to be designed to a greater power to accommodate heavy duty requirements. The power to operate in a growing multi-user environment and the power to add as many users without compromising on the performance parameter, resulting in highly scalable environment. That's with the power and capacity. Now we'll look at the need with regard to manageability. When we come to manageability, to manage and monitor users and activities for better control. The larger businesses, the larger customers need to manage and monitor users and activities for better control. This Tally Server 9 will help to seamlessly monitor user activities and manage or authorize users to perform specific tasks for ensuring consistency and more scalable environment. And next, optimization. When we come to optimization, the large customers need to analyze work patterns and time spent for optimizing tasks and user productivity. The larger customers, they want to know how occupied the employees or users are. So this Tally Server 9, where we have a monitoring tool, this helps the manager to know how the users are occupied in their work patterns and the time spent for optimizing tasks and user productivity. For example, the company spends 60 hours monthly on bank reconciliation statement or 120 hours monthly on outstanding statements, which may be analyzed further by enterprises to improve productivity. These monitoring benefits are available in Tally Server 9. This helps in optimization and user productivity. Benefits of Tally Server 9. The benefits of Tally Server 9 are speed with concurrent data access. As we discussed, in the current environment, if the number of users are 5 or say max to 7 or 8 or 10, the performance or simultaneous data access will be in a smooth condition. When the number of users increase and the volume of database increase, it will affect in the performance of data. And when one user access a huge volume of report, currently we have a single thread application where we can perform read write, write read, read, all these activities, but not simultaneously. The users will be queued. Once the report is accessed by one user and it is closed, then it will allow the other users to perform the other activity. But with this Tally Server 9, this helps in concurrent data access where the users can view a report, record a transaction, print the report or export the report, and perform multiple activities as such. Next, security and control. When we come to security and control, the Tally Server 9 mainly helps in keeping your data secure. In current environment, Tally.ERP 9, the data is kept on a server machine and shared to all the users through a network. The users can go to the data location and take the data or copy the data to their system or their personal hard disk, and it will create the misuse of data. But in Tally Server 9, the users can access only the data, and there won't be a data location for the users, and the users will not know where the data is kept or from where the data is shared. Also, in security, the users can perform only the tasks which are assigned to their user profile. Say, the users can record only transactions, the user can record or can view only the reports and not make any changes. All these security and control is available in Tally Server 9. Monitoring and optimization. As we discussed earlier, this Tally Server 9 helps in monitoring the user activities and optimizing the tasks for better productivity. Zero downtime. This helps in zero downtime. As we discussed earlier, in the current environment, Tally.ERP 9, when one user is accessing a huge volume report, and other users will be queued till the activity is completed. But here, Tally Server 9, due to the speed with concurrent data access, it reduces the downtime. It zeroes the downtime, where the users can perform multiple tasks simultaneously. And next, the system requirements for Tally Server 9. The recommended system requirements are, when we come to processor, the recommended configuration is Intel Core 2 Duo or above and equivalent. Intel Core 2 Duo or above or equivalent processors. And when we come to RAM, 4 GB RAM or more. Hard disk, 30 MB free space to install the application, and HDD with sufficient disk space to handle the volume of available data. The monitor resolution, the recommended monitor resolution is 1024 in width and 768 in height or higher. And the operating systems, Tally Server 9 can be installed on Microsoft Windows 8, or Windows 7, Windows 2008, Vista, XP, 2003 or 2000. These are all the operating systems which supports Tally Server 9 or on which Tally Server 9 is compatible. These are all with regard to the system requirements for installing Tally Server 9. So, what are we solving through Tally Server 9? So, let us discuss in detail. No more queues. When we see the Tally.ERP 9 way, data is kept on a shared environment, and as it is a single threaded application, when one user is accessing the data, the data entry person, until the activity is completed, the other users will be queued. Say like printing reports. The concurrency is affected here in delayed response, and which in turn reduces the performance. This is in case of shared environment and on a single thread application. So when we come to Tally Server 9, where the data is shared to users using a server component on a multi-threaded application. This helps in concurrent access of data where the users can perform multiple tasks like printing reports, data entry, and report generation. This results in high concurrency with simultaneous data access and also with immediate response and high performance. The comparison between the Tally.ERP 9 and Tally Server 9, where in Tally.ERP 9 the data is shared in a network and the data is accessed on a single threaded application, and the concurrency when we see in Tally Server 9, it is high due to the data is shared using a server component called Tally Server 9 and on a multi-threaded application. This helps in simultaneous data access and multiple tasks performed and the immediate response and high performance on these activities. And next, high stability even in abnormal situations. Here, when we see the large number of Tally users performing different activities, the heavy read-write operations are performed, the Tally goes to not responding, and later it may be terminated, and when reloaded it will ask for rewrite. So the stability and uptime, abnormal system interruptions. This will result in abnormal system interruptions and productivity issues during data intensive tasks. So here the stability is affected. When we come to Tally Server 9, the multiple read-write operations can be performed without compromising on performance. The parallel read-write operations can be performed, and here there is no downtime. It is zero downtime, continuity or no crash or application termination, stable and responsive even in abnormal situations. The users are performing multiple tasks, say voucher entry and daybook reports, printing the reports, synchronization of data, and more. The users can simultaneously perform all these activities with concurrent data access without compromising on performance. When we see the stability and uptime, this will help in parallel read-write operations and zero downtime, continuity or no crash or application termination, stable and responsive even in abnormal situations. Authorized and monitored data access. When we see in the current environment of Tally.ERP 9, where the data is kept on a server and shared to users with full administrative rights, and the users here will be able to go to the data location and they have access to entire data folder. Anyone can take backup or restore the data. This will misuse the data, or the users can misuse the data, and there is a possibility of malfunction in data. So when we come to Tally.ERP 9, we have a system where the data is stored, or we have a server where the data is kept, and we configured the data location in a server component called Tally Server 9, and this Tally Server 9 will serve the data for Tally users. Here the users have no direct access to data or direct access through Windows shared services. The format of data path in client machine, the data equals to tally server name colon endpoint. The name which is given for the data folder. This we can discuss on a product demo in the coming slides. The format of data path in client machine, the data colon endpoint. Tally server name is the name of the tally server. Endpoint is the data path. Here the tally server name, the data is highly secure. Configurations to hide data path from users. This configuration to hide data path from users will help to hide the data from the users so that there is no direct access to data folder by the users, and the users cannot take the data or cannot back up the data. This will avoid the malfunction or misusage of data, and rights based security to differentiate users. The manager can assign different security levels for different users based on their work profile. The manager can assign the rights for different users based on their work profile, and it helps in easy to monitor users accessing the data. Here it helps in monitoring the user activities, which user is working on which company, and what are all the vouchers he has entered, what are all reports he has accessed, the time spent on the voucher entry or the reports. All these monitoring benefits are available in Tally Server 9. And the prevention of unauthorized access. As we discussed, it will prevent the users from accessing the data, the unauthorized access of data. Now, the next benefit is administration without downtime. Here, when the administrator is backing up the data, when the data is being backed up, the other users who wants to record a voucher or print reports, export reports, all these activities will be queued, and it will decrease in performance at client machines during data maintenance operations and results in unmanaged work environment. But in Tally Server 9, the user can back up the data and perform all other activities simultaneously. Analyze. The administrator can analyze the work patterns and optimize operations. In the monitoring tool, as we discussed, we can come to know how occupied the users are, what the time spent on reports and voucher entry, and we can optimize the operations using the reports available in monitoring tool. Monitor user activities and manage their sessions. Backup and restore by authorized users. Here, only the authorized user can backup and restore the data. Activate, deactivate, and configure Tally server license. Only the administrator can activate, deactivate, configure Tally license, Tally server license. Only the administrator can backup, restore, and only the authorized users will be able to perform this backup and restore activities. Monitoring tool. The benefits of monitoring tool are provides advanced monitoring and administrative control to business owners through its unique monitor feature. We can monitor how many users are working on which are all the companies, what are all the reports they are accessing, what are all the entries they have recorded or altered or made changes, and what are all the entries or how many entries the user has deleted. All these records will be available in the monitoring tool. With this tool, administrators can view real-time information, say like usage of the system, patterns of user activities, areas where more time is spent. This will help in optimizing the user activities or optimizing the operations. Enabling businesses to optimize user productivity. The monitoring tool, which provides the real-time information, it in turn helps the businesses to optimize user productivity. As the administrator can view the usage of system by user and the patterns of user activities and areas where more time is spent, all these information will help the administrator in optimizing the user productivity and operations. And next, so product demo. we'll see how Tally Server 9 can be installed and how the monitoring tool can be viewed and all the activities performed on the monitoring tool. The Tally.EXE will start installing the exe. This requires administrative rights. Only the administrator can perform this operation. Here, the user can only install the Tally Server Monitor tool, or he can install the monitor along with Tally Server and license. There is an option to install Tally Server Monitor along with license and the Tally Server, or the installing of only the monitor tool. So we are installing the Tally Server along with license. We can change the installation directory, or we can continue installing in the directory which we desire. And this is the name of the server for clients to access. We can give any name. And the data name. Whatever name specified here, this name will appear in Tally for the users to access the data. Tally Server 9 data. And here, by default, it is taking the installation directory's data path. The user can mention the directory, or he can browse the directory where the data is kept. The license of Tally Server, the installation directory, and the port for the Tally Server license, it is taking by default 10,000, as the default port 9999 is already configured to Tally.ERP 9 license. And it will ask the existing Tally.ERP 9 Gold license for sharing the data or for serving the data to users to access the data on Tally. Here, the Tally Server 9 application is not an individual application, or it is not a separate application. This Tally Server 9 should be associated with Tally.ERP 9. This Tally Server 9 is a server component for sharing or serving the data to Tally.ERP 9 users. The Tally.ERP 9 and Tally Server 9 will have a separate licenses, two different licenses. So now it is asking for the Tally.ERP 9 license server for serving the data. This is the server name of Tally.ERP 9 license server, and the port is 9999. We have an option, or we have a feature, a testing feature to check whether this Tally.ERP 9 license is running. Here we got a message that Tally license server is running with this serial number. So we can proceed with the installation of Tally server 9. For first time activation, you can enter on activate license, and if the license is already activated and the user wants to activate it again, then we can reactivate the license. So already this license is activated and surrendered for a demo. Now we will reactivate the license again. You have to mention the administrative email ID and password, the TallyNet password. Here the Tally server 9 license is successfully reactivated. Whenever we start Tally server 9, it will ask the administrative login. When we log in, it will take us to the monitoring tool. This is the Tally server monitoring tool, where it will show the currently logged in users, the number of reports, which are all the users here, and under particulars it will show the number of users and which user performed which activity, the number of reports, the viewed reports, printed reports, exported reports, and edited reports. This is the user. We are viewing the user based on users, the tool based on users. If you want to know the list of companies, or if you want to view the monitoring tool with the list of companies, we can use the toggle button F3. It shows the users accessing the data. It will list all the companies. And now we'll go to manage server. Here, while installing Tally server 9, we gave the location name TS9 data, and the location path is Tally server 9 :Tally server 9 data. So this is the data location and this is the location name. When the users are accessing the data in Tally.ERP9, they'll be able to see only this location name and not the location path. Here, it secures the data from direct access from the users. The users will not know where the data is kept. They only know the location name and not the location path. This advanced information, it gives the service name, the service path where the Tally Server 9 is installed and the Tally Server 9 exe is located. This is the IP address of the system where the Tally Server 9 is installed. The data port, admin port, the license server, Tally Server 9 license, localhost and 10,000. As it is in the, installed on the local system, we can give as localhost and 10,000. This is the Tally.ERP9 license server. We are sharing the data to this license server. This Tally Server 9 will be procured by users who already have a multi-user license or who is going to buy a multi-user license, and he can buy the Tally Server 9 for serving the data to clients and keeping the data secure, providing concurrent access to data by users, and performance, data performance. Here, if the user wants to perform the licensing activity, the user can go to Manage Server and press F3 for licensing. He can update the license, surrender the license, extend TallyNet subscription, and he can configure the existing license. Here, the server setup, the data location and access. The user can configure multiple data locations. The user can configure multiple data locations here and create user profiles with list of users or system of group names for security and control. We are sharing the data, or we are serving the data through Tally Server 9 for this particular Tally.ERP9 license. This particular Tally.ERP9 license server. Security. We can create the different security levels based on different user groups, and after creating the security level, we can enable the permissions, whether we want to allow this particular user groups to back up the data, create company, restore data, rewrite the company, split company data, and we can give access to monitor the data. Like if the manager or the administrator cannot always perform the monitoring activity, so he can assign this monitoring activity to the user, and he can enable this option here in security levels, and he can allow the access for disconnect the company or users and export server data and make changes to server configurations. All these security can be configured in security levels or security option given in the F6 toggle button. Here we can sort these columns by pressing Alt N. We can sort these columns, the viewed or printed, exported, edited columns in the monitoring tool. We can sort the previous column, ascending or descending order, and the number of companies or number of users. We can shift the screen or screen view to user view or company view using this F3 toggle button. This show entries report will show the number of entries and number of imported entries, number of reports accessed by users or the companies loaded, the viewed reports or printed reports, exported reports, created, altered or deleted entries. All these information can be viewed from this monitoring tool. We can also view by time spent on reports. We can refresh the monitoring tool. We have a auto refresh feature where the monitoring tool will be auto refreshed, and if you want to manually refresh, we can press F5 for refreshing. And whatever data available in this monitoring tool, those data can be exported for the administrator, or if the director wants to view the report of monitoring tool, this report can be exported using a F6 button. Export data. We can export this in Excel format. This is the standard format for exporting this monitoring tool, and the default export location will be the Tally Server 9 location. We can also change the export location by manually mentioning the location path. This is the output file name which will get created. We can also make the changes in the file name, and we can export this report in Excel spreadsheet for viewing the report. We can perform the backup activities and restore and rewrite activities here using these shortcut keys: F7 for backup, F8 for restore, and F9 for rewrite. Or we can click on these buttons available in the button bar. We can schedule the backup in using the Tally Server 9. We can schedule the backup. We can mention the backup location here. We can schedule the type. We can schedule the backup, daily backup or monthly backup and weekly backup. And we can specify a time when the backup should automatically, when the data should be automatically backed up. We can schedule the time here. We can schedule the time based on the end of office times. Daily or monthly and weekly schedule is available for backup. While installing the Tally Server 9, the Server 9 can be installed on the system where the data is kept. And if the systems are running with a dynamic IP on a network, you can specify the system name in the license server configuration while installing this Tally Server 9 in case you are using a dynamic IP. And the maintenance activity on server can be performed using monitor tool. We can also notify the users to save their data and log off from Tally company using Tally Server 9. Through monitor tool, we can select the company or users, and we can also disconnect the users and companies by pressing Alt-U. As we have discussed the benefits of Tally Server 9, it will help in concurrent data access, security control, monitoring, and zero downtime. We can export this monitoring tool to Excel, and we can provide the reports to the person sitting on the other system. Here, with the help of monitoring tool, we can restrict the users from taking the backup, or we can allow some of the users to perform this backup and restore operations. As I have already shown you the process for allowing the users or restricting the users on their activities, we can go to Manage Server and Security. We can create the security level. We can allow the backup, restore, rewrite, create company, split company, and we can give access to monitoring tool, disconnect the company or users, export server data, and make changes in the server configurations. All these permissions or restrictions can be configured in monitoring tool under Manage Server and Security. We can also get the details of number of users logged into a particular company or number of companies accessed by a particular user. All these details can be viewed from the monitoring tool. And also, we have F12 configuration for server 9, where we can configure the time format for the reports. If we want to see the reports or time spent on the reports in seconds or minutes or hours, and interval for auto refresh. We can specify the number of minutes or the interval for auto refresh. If we don't want the monitor tool to be auto refreshed, we can mention 5 and manually press F5 in the monitoring tool for refresh. And we have a sorting method. By default, it will be sorted through the columns viewed, printed, exported, and edited. We can also sort using edited, exported, printed, total, viewed. All this sorting column is available, and we have a sorting by ascending or descending methods. Now we have installed Tally Server 9 and we have gone through the Tally Server monitoring tool benefits. Now we'll see whether the data shared through Tally Server 9 is available in Tally for accessing the companies. We can go to select company. And in select company, this is the local shared path. When the Tally server, when the data is shared through Tally Server 9, we have to unshare the data which is shared on Windows for better performance. If the data is shared through Windows, it will affect in performance. And if the data is served from Tally Server 9, the data has to be served using full admin rights, or the data should be kept on the system where the user has full admin rights, the user profile with full admin rights. If the data is kept on the system where there is no complete admin rights, then that particular data folder will not list the companies. Those companies will not appear in the list of companies, and it will give you no companies on disk. So this is the manually shared, or this is the local Tally folders data. If you want to access server data, Tally Server 9 data, we can press Alt S, or we can click on this server data location button available in the button bar, and here it will give you the list of Tally Server 9 data locations. As we have configured only one data location, we are getting this data location, and we have given the location name Tally TS9 data, and it will not show the information where the data is kept, or it will not show the path where the data is kept. It will show only the location name. We can select the location where the data is kept. We are getting one particular company which is available in this location. As we have selected the company shared using Tally Server 9 and the company we have accessed on Tally.ERP 9, it in the monitoring tool, it is giving us the details of user who is accessing the company, and this user is accessing one company. This information we are getting under particulars. If we want to view the company view, then we can use this toggle button F3 available in the button bar. So here it is giving the name of company, and this company is being accessed by one user. If we go for company view, it will give us the details of name of company and the number of users accessing this particular company at this point of time. So if we go for user view, it will give us the list of users and the number of companies they are accessing or working on. Now let us make an entry. We have made an entry here. And we go to show entries. The number of entries created 1. This user has accessed one company and created one entry. So we will alter the entry. Here we have viewed two reports. We have went to display and daybook, and that reports is coming under viewed count, and we have created one entry and we have altered one entry. And if we delete any entry, it is appearing in the deleted counts. And again, the viewed count has increased because we have went to daybook and we have deleted an entry. See, all these monitoring feature is available in Tally Server 9 monitoring tool, where the administrator can view all these reports and he can take a decision to optimize the operations, and he can assign the task for users based on the time available. So this with regard to the product demo of Tally Server 9. Now, other networking settings, the Windows tools. Services.msc. This services, or in Windows services, we can start or stop or restart the Tally Server 9 service. If we stop the Tally Server 9 services, it will stop sharing the data to users. And if we want to start it again, we can again start the services from Windows services. We can again start the Tally Server 9 services from Windows services. And also we can, if there are any interruptions in Tally Server 9 service or sharing the data, we can restart the Tally Server 9 services. We can press Alt R for run command, and we can type services.msc to go to Windows services, and we can select Tally Server 9, right click on it. From the options we can select start, stop or restart, and from properties we can select automatic or manual service startup type. We can also enable or disable Tally Server 9 as a Windows startup program. Networking commands, we can ping whether the license server is running. All these details we can check in the network commands. So we'll see how to go to these services and stop or start these services. Now we are able to access the Tally Server 9 data. We'll shut the company. We'll go to services, services.msc, and here we have, when we search for Tally, we have Tally Server 9. These are all the license servers installed for Tally.ERP 9 and Tally Server 9. Tally Server 9 is installed with the port 10,000, and the Tally.ERP 9 license server is installed with the default port 9999. And this is the Tally Server 9 services. The services status is started, and it is serving the data to the users on Tally.ERP 9. If we stop the services, it will stop sharing the access to data from Tally. Select company, and it will show no companies on disk as the services is stopped. If we want to access the Tally Server 9 data, we have to start the Tally Server 9 services again from the Windows services. Start. Now when we go to select company, the number of companies available in this location is listed. And this with regard to the introduction and basic functionalities of Tally Server 9. So the conclusion, we have come across with the benefits of Tally Server 9, that it helps in concurrent data access, security and control, optimization and manageability. And this Server 9 helps in keeping your data secure. And how the Server 9 benefits to the large customers' needs, how the Tally Server 9 serves the large customers' needs, and all these features we have come across with this introduction or with this introductory session. Hope this session was helpful in understanding the basic functionalities of Tally Server 9. Thank you.